I'm immediately coming right back with a 5050C Smart Pack. So this time around, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually put the chest cam on me so you guys can see how I'm doing these alpha passes. You can see that you too can do it yourself. If you follow my setup guide and you follow the principles that I'm using here, you'll find that it's really not that hard to do. Oh God, I can't talk when I'm trying to burp. You'll find that it's really not that hard to do. So much for motivational speech as bodily functions impair my ability to talk. There we go. You guys ever get that where like something's coming up and then you try to talk and you can't? It's so annoying. It's happened to me ever since I was a kid. I don't know how normal that is, but I'm sure it's normal. I can't be that different from other people. Although I do fly, so, you know, there is an important distinction between me and many people, is that I'm super into aviation and a lot of people could care less. So anyway, we're gonna turn the chest cam on here momentarily. I'm gonna fly this on a 50C Smart Pack. This is about as heavy as the 50C 5200 packs from Z. So I do need to keep it located forward, not aft. If it goes too far back, the wings get super rocky no matter what I do. I'm willing to play with it some more and double check that, but right now this is just so critical and I'm getting so low to the ground that I don't want to introduce an unstable, unknown element into what's basically a precision bit of flying. So this time around, I actually got to take off the lanyard. It's been nice kind of flying with it. I don't normally get to do that anymore. Take off the lanyard, point the camera so you guys can see my sticks. You can see how I take off, you can see how I land, you can see how I fly. I feel like you guys really love the Viper content. It's some of the most like popular content on my channel. I hope you do like it because it really is one of the best jets you can get, and it's really one of the best jets of all time in my opinion. All right, we got the flaps halfway out. We're gonna fly with half throttle, save some power for the flight. Remember, you don't need full throttle to take off, guys. Doesn't hurt to add a little bit of throttle as you bank, because as you pull the elevator back, you will cause one of those wings to eventually drop if your bank angle is too severe for the given airspeed. Trust me on this. I'm giving you a basic aerodynamics lesson on this, but it will happen to you. And it has happened to people who've flown Vipers and other jets of this type, or even any jet really. It can happen to all of them. All right, we're gonna level out the wings. Throw my alpha switch on. So we got the elevator to crow. As I pull back, the ailerons both reflex up at the same exact time. I add throttle and left rudder to counteract the rolling tendency that the plane experiences as the duct spins when it's going super slow. Okay, here we go. Getting closer. Left rudder to stabilize. We're gonna get very close to the ground on this. I really kicked that pollen up and I almost crashed the plane. You can see that this plane is flying post-stall because the normal laws of aerodynamics state that as much as I pulled that elevator back as the plane began wing rocking, it should have gone right into the ground. I was expecting it to crash right then and there. That would have really sucked. But it didn't, because it was flying on the duct alone. The wings are out of the way. So that's good stuff. All right, we still got enough power to do this one more time. Alpha. In the alpha mode. Remember, this is elevator to crow. As the nose drops, I begin adding thrust. You can see my hands working right now. I'm using left rudder to counteract the roll. This should be the new alpha tutorial, really. There we go, getting really low. All right, check our voltage. 22.6 volts. You can do this one more time. 11 minutes. I want to see if I can get it straight down the taxiway, blowing as much pollen around as I can get. I'm gonna cruise for a moment, take my hand off, scratch my head. Thankfully, you don't have to use rudder all the time in level flight, although you see me using heavy amounts of rudder while I'm flying in alpha, because that's really the only way to steer the jet correctly. All right, we're gonna bank over, check voltage. 22.7 volts. Plenty of power left. That's under load, so we're at like 23.5 volts right now. There we go. You saw some wing rock. The plane was trying to stall over and over. Each wing is stalling in succession right now. There we go. Now it's starting to stabilize. There it goes. Flying on the thrust alone. Full throttle, and she comes right out of it. We're gonna do this one more time. I'll show you guys how to continue doing this. Trust me, if I can do this, you can too. You just gotta push through your own brain's critical angle of attack, otherwise known as your anxiety response. The only thing that's limiting you from becoming a better pilot is your response to anxiety. The more you fly, the better you get, and the more you learn. The more your brain learns that situations like what I just put myself into really aren't that big of a deal. Once you've trained yourself to understand that through repetition, your what is it, your amygdala, which is your fear response center, it controls your anxiety response too, that will start to learn to ignore this, and it's not as big of a deal. And you know what, if it crashes, it's a piece of foam you can always fix. All right, we're gonna cut here, come right back, and then I will show you how to do it one more time. I just realized that I hadn't even turned my chest cam on last time, so it's a good thing I'm going back up anyway, because I made a total arse of myself there, not realizing that I should have turned the chest cam on. So we're gonna do it again, but again, you guys can see that this is predictably repeatable. It is something you can do. You can train yourself to push through this. If you want to try it, I will help you out. Just ask me for advice, or just watch my tutorials like this one, for example. I was going to roll this into a separate video, but we're just going to make this into another tutorial on how to do alpha with a Viper, because this is some of the best content I feel I've produced in a long time, especially when you guys can see my sticks moving this time. You should be able to see what it is the jet's actually doing versus the inputs that I'm giving it. So this time I'm going to make sure the chest cam is turned on so you guys can see what's happening. Okay, chest cam is on and verified. Flaps are coming out. We're going to take off with half throttle again so that we don't waste power trying to get up into the air, and we can do this 3 times minimum. 4 times max, probably. All right, half throttle.
Flaps gear up.
A little bit more throttle, about 65% to take off all the way and get banked around. There we go, a little bit more just in case. I don't want to run the risk of stalling the plane into the trees, because I'll have to write it off. I'll never get it back. Unless I call my bud Kev, if he's watching. Thanks, Kev. Not that you've gotten any of my stuff out of the trees, but thanks for being that guy that does get stuff out of the trees for people. Okay. Same thing we did last time. We're going to bank, turn, enable the alpha mix, switch, follow my setup guide for more info on this. Pull back until the plane stalls. Simultaneously add throttle. Correct for the gyroscopic roll, aka the torque that the motor is producing, because it's flying so slow right now, it's starting to roll on its own. See, it's how it's pointing to the right. You got to give it left rudder a lot of the time to get it to straighten off and fly down the runway here, the taxiway, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're on a controlled elevator. We're getting down to about 10 feet, 5 feet, 2 feet. That did not go the way I wanted it to. It started to windmill with some of the wind that just conveniently kicked up and nearly hit me in the face. It wouldn't have hurt much. I mean, it wasn't going very fast. And it is a piece of foam, but it would have wrecked the plane. But you can see that this is capable, it's something you're capable of doing. It's something I can do repeatedly, something that I can teach you to do. So just watch my hands, do it with low winds. Trust me, it's not very fun to do in high winds, unless you can get like a straight wind, there's no turbulence, and you could probably get it to hover. Like a seagull. It would be so cool. Pull back there's a stall, pull through it. There we go. Just correct at the stall. Had enough airspeed to roll it back. It's a very nasty stall, you know. That's one of the reasons why people do crash this plane, is they go too slow and that wing just drops. And it can be either wing, it doesn't matter which one. All right. Modulating throttle. Getting nice and low here. I did it. Scraped it up real good.
Turbine powered down. Turbine engaged.
Oh, I'm gonna get it right back up because I don't think anything got damaged. But I definitely scraped the paint up. That was so cool. I was afraid that would happen. I would have rather have had it happen to the grass Let's check the bottom of the plane. Definitely scrape the flaps up a little bit. Oh yeah. Looks like the flaps are still working. I'm gonna take it right back up, just to double check. I think it's, oh yeah, it's totally fine. It's pretty well built. Just needs to be repainted a little bit. Now it's truly mine. Clean it up, hit it with some foam filler, just repaint it a different color. There's very little damage. Let's see what happened to the bottom. And a little bit of a scrape there. Nothing to worry about. We're going right back up, guys. We're gonna keep doing that on this last bit of battery we've got left.
21.4 volts.
21.4?
21.4 volts.
Really, is it that low? No way. It's probably just reading the last, yeah, it's 23.6. Plenty of power. If you don't give it thrust commands, like you don't tell it to throttle up, it'll just read the last level of voltage that it had prior to shutting it down. Everything's fine. Nothing a little bit of paint won't fix.
21.9 volts.
Anyway, yeah, I just didn't give it enough thrust. So you guys can see that it's totally possible to do, and the worst that's going to happen is it scrapes the plane up a little bit. I mean, it's just a piece of foam. It looks cool, and it's, you know, it's yours and everything, but you know, you got to, now I have a story behind this plane now. I can be like, I'm the guy that made this thing do that. It's got a battle scar. It looks cool. There we go. Flaps are still working good. Everything's fine. Still flying exactly the same way as it did.
22.7 volts.
So we're gonna get it down low again. This time I can't hit that again because it probably will break something like the flap hinges. I don't want to break those.
15 minutes.
There we go. That's the pass I was looking for the whole time.
21.3 volts.
Okay, there's a guy in my runway, oddly enough.
Gear down.
Dropping the gear.
21.8 volts.
Got the pass I was looking for, guys. I've been wanting to blow that much dust up for a while now.
Flaps full.
There we go. Everything's working just fine. The only thing that's not working fine is that the nose door came loose mid-flight, but that's something that probably just needs to be popped back in place. I'll check it out real quick. Turn off the chest cam.
Turbine powered down.
Yeah, it actually looks like it broke it. I mean, it's something I can't fix. It's happened before. Man, this plane got dirty. Oh yeah, it clearly snapped it off. That's not a big deal. Wonder if I can buy, oh, actually it destroyed the entire assembly. I may just have to take the door off. It's not a huge problem. I'm just happy I was able to do what I just did with the jet. That was the penultimate thing I've been wanting to do with a Viper jet ever since I've gotten it, is get it that low, and I did it. I did incur a little bit of damage. I could probably repair it. I may just have to get a new nose door if I can even find one of those. If you guys have a spare one you want to send me, I'll buy it off you. I don't care. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, including with the mistake. Just give it enough thrust and you got nothing to worry about. This has been John at Sin RC, and I'll see you all next time.